Welcome everybody, it is Claudia with Patchwork with Claudia. Today we are working on the Pinwheel Star block. To make this block we will need 4 squares, 3.5 inches, color A for the corners. We will need 4 squares, 4 inches, color A to make this section. 4 squares, color B, 4 inches to make these parts. And for the middle, we will need 2 squares, color C, 4 inches, and 2 squares, color D, 4 inches. So let's see how it works. I mentioned that for color B, that in this case is the black color, we would need 4 squares of 4 inches. However, I have these half square triangles from a prior project that I would like to utilize. Since in Patchwork we utilize almost every single piece of fabric that we have. But normally, as a reminder, normally we begin making the half square triangle sections drawing a diagonal line, as you can see here, and then from that line on each side a quarter of square of inch. We draw another line, and from these lines, the outside lines, is where we are going to sew, and then we cut on the middle line. But let me show you how I will utilize my triangles. So let me grab some pins. That will be awesome. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to align my triangle. I will pin and I will sew here a quarter of inch. Then I can attach the other one and sew a quarter of inch, and finally we can cut. So this is the process that I'm going to do. Here we are ready to start sewing. So let's attach our first section. I turn around and I put the other triangle, align my other triangle with my square and start sewing again a quarter of inch. So I have here my first one. I have here my first one, so we are going to cut here in the middle. First we press and then we cut. And we need to do the same with the other 3 4-inch squares. We sew and then we press and we cut. So let's do that process. I have already all 8 sections here. They are pressed. So now what we need to do is to trim all to measure 3.5 inches. So let's start it. Let's see, 3.5 inches is the measurement that we need on all these 8 pieces. So here we are going to do here this way, and then here this way. I have here my first 3.5 inches around. We need to do the same with the other 7. It is time to repeat the prior process with these other sections. So I already draw the lines over here. Now I'm going to align my dark square with my light square and sew on the outside lines and cut from the middle one. I will do the same here and sew and cut. Let's join these pieces together. Align my fabric again. Now we press and cut. These 4 sections are ready, so now it's time to trim them to measure 3.5 inches all around. This part didn't go. So let's do on the other side. So now we have it, 3.5 inches all around. We need to do the same with the other 3. Now we have all sections ready to start assembling our block. So we lay out it this one I have the wrong way. Let's put these 2 first. Is this way? No, is this way. And this one is this way. So now we have our block is laid out, so we start sewing together the rows and then press the seams. So as you see it, we are going to start sewing here, here, here in the first row. We do the same process with the second row. Then with the third row, we sew here. Finally, the fourth row. After we have all rows done, we press and start sewing here, here, and here. As always, we start sewing our block a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So let's start sewing the first 2 sections. Here we align our fabrics. Then let's go with the second one. Let's cut these first 2 sections, lay out them again, and join. So let me open here to verify that I have my sections right way. Looks like this one is here and this one is here, and this way actually, this way and this way. Now let's join here. Let's join these 2. Here we join these 2. Now let's see what we have. So we have our first row here, and let's organize the second row. Okay, it's this way, and then we look here. I am looking at my diagram, and now it's time to join these 2. So I have it here. As you see it, it goes that way, and we need to assemble the other 2 rows the same way as we did with these ones. I'm not sure that you are able to see it. I just noticed, so let's see it. You can see here that I already assembled these 2 rows. Now it's time to do the same with the other 2. Now that all rows are ready, we lay down the block again. Make sure that we don't twist like this thing. And now it's time to join the rows here, here, and here. So what I'm going to do is start join the first two rows. So I'm going to nest the seams. I'm going to nest the seams here and help myself with some pins. I need to nest the seams in 4 areas. And I help myself with pins in all 4 areas. To start sewing again. So let's do the same with the other 2 rows. So let's first start here that I wanted to nest the seams. So my corners match. We will notice when we press again our block. Then this last one. Now it's time to sew again. 1/4 inch seam allowance, and let's start sewing. Verify that didn't move the fabric in the seam. Let's do the same with the other 2. Now that we join these 2, now it's time to join the 2 parts and finish our block. So let's grab the pins again and start here. I will nest my corners here again and put some pins. Let's see, that is one, yeah. And there's the last one. Let's organize the seams here at the beginning and start sewing. let's see what we have. Move here this one a little bit and see it. This is our block. Now it's time to press it and we are done. Here is our ending block. It is 12.5 inches. I hope that you practice it. Subscribe to my channel. I invite you to share the videos and like them. And see you next time here in Patchwork with Claudia. Bye.